If you're considering making a move to a new city, you just may want to put Raleigh, North Carolina on your radar for many different reasons. Whether you're a young professional, maybe a new family, or a growing family looking to raise your kids in a new place, or just seeking for that retirement community, Raleigh just may be the fit for you. Now, if you're new to me in this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on anything. But also, I am a licensed realtor here, so if you do need any assistance with your relocation needs, just reach out. But let's not waste any time, and let's go ahead and talk about one of the first reasons I have on this list, which is the location of Raleigh, North Carolina. I mean, if you really look at the map in itself and look at North Carolina as a whole, it really positions itself in a great place where you're not too far from the northern states, or even if you wanted to go deep into the south, or maybe you're a type of individual who likes to go on a lot of travels or even business trips, you are still relatively close to a lot of those cities and states that you may be neighboring or even traveling to. I know for myself, when I was relocating, one of the big contenders for myself was I cannot be too far from those northern states just in case I needed to get back for whatever reason, or maybe I just needed to go back because I didn't like where Raleigh was. But that's not the case. Raleigh's good for me, at least. I will just say, if you're someone that still needs to get back, you can quick drive. I mean, depending on what you determine as a quick drive, but it's also a quick flight. So ultimately, Raleigh's positioned in a place where if you need to get a quick, weekend getaway, or you just you want to travel to the beach or the mountains, you still have that accessibility to get that. You just may have to travel a bit just to experience it, but you still have the accessibility to it. Moving on to reason number 2, which is the weather. So if you are tired of those harsh winters or even the terrible, hot, humid, long-lasting summers, then Raleigh may be a fit for you because you still get to experience all 4 seasons. Yes, you heard me right, all 4 seasons. Now, of course, some of those seasons may be shorter than others, depending on exactly what you're experiencing or wanting. However, you still get all the 4 seasons. And something that I do hear a lot, or a lot of questions I do get, it's about the winter specifically, and how is the snow there specifically. And I will say, honestly, in the 5 years that I've been here, I've seen snow maybe 2 to 3 times. And honestly, in those 2 to 3 times that I've seen it, it's literally been the snow's been there for a day and it's just gone tomorrow kind of thing. So it doesn't really snow here, at least in that Raleigh area. Now, if you're going to go to the mountains and kind of go a little bit maybe further north or north of Charlotte or whatever the case may be, it may be a whole nother ball game for you. However, in that Raleigh area, it doesn't really snow that much. But the one caveat to the weather, I will say that you may not enjoy. I can deal with it. I know many other individuals can, especially since a lot of people are relocating here, is the summers where it does get a little bit more humid than you would expect. So if you are on the fence and kind of considering looking at, the weather wise and seeing, how it is the humidity there, then travel when it's hot. I mean, as I'm recording this video in June, it's one of those times where it's getting there in terms of hot and humidity. So maybe you travel to it just to experience it and see if this is something that you can tolerate. However, I'd like to add something. Being in the South, you have warmer weathers, which enables you to really go travel outside and do outdoor activities, which we'll go ahead and talk about next. But most of these things, all you guys should already know about. This should not come to you as any surprise. And if it is, then you got to look a little bit more deeper into what North Carolina really does offer to you. But as I'm looking at my list here, I'm realizing that reasons 6 through 10 are showing most important, and at least what a lot of individuals make and weigh their decision on. So you're going to want to stick around and hear those. And I actually included for you guys a disagreement that I have about the area that many people may go back and forth with me on. But you got to stick around and hear that one. So moving on to reason number 3, which is the outdoor activities. As I previously kind of just touch upon it, the warmer weathers being a majority of the year here in the South, in North Carolina specifically, it of course gives you the ability to go outdoors and experience, what does nature look like, whether you want to go on hikes, you want to go biking, you want to go on the river, the lake, the trails, I mean, you want to go on the boats, jet skis, you name it. You're going to have the ability to do so majority of the year, just because, I mean, let's really look at it from perspective. Why, from March to just about, I'd say, October, that is when it's like really warm out. You could really get the best of both worlds, which means not really being too hot or not being really cold, to give you those outdoor activities that you may want to participate in do. Now, if you're a person that does not care or does not like to be outdoors, I'm going to apologize in advance, because Raleigh just may not be the fit for you. This is one of those states, at least the cities, I would even say, that does a lot of outdoor activities and at least gives ample amount of activities for families, young individuals, or if you just want to go out to relax. Like this, it's all of it. So if you don't, it's either you don't move here or you just come out yourself. What can I say? However, let's go ahead and move on to reason number 4, which is the cultural scene. And as Raleigh continuously grows, one thing that you're going to identify and realize really quickly is a lot of people are moving in here, which means it's going to bring a lot of different cultures and sceneries that you may or may not experience in other places. So that's something to definitely keep in mind, which is also going to include, what type of museums, the festivals, the music venues, or even the type of music that is brought to the area. Those are things that I definitely think is going to be a little bit more diverse as time goes on, as Raleigh continuously grows. Because something I could even add on to it that I missed in saying about the outdoor activities is a lot of different acts in terms of musicians, comedians, singers, you name it, have been coming into Raleigh a little bit more in the past couple of years. I'm talking, directly after 2020 seems to be like the year where a lot of acts are now putting Raleigh on their tour date list. So it's definitely something this area is definitely an area that's going to add a little bit more diversity and cultureness, if that's even a word, to the area. So you don't have to be stuck with getting, I guess, that cookie cutter or, a blonde flea field of things. Now we have reason number 5, which is the quality of life. And I know you guys have seen it. If you haven't seen it already, go Google it or go look at the video where I discuss it, where I talk about Raleigh being, again, for maybe like the 5th year in a row, being on the list of the best places to live. And one of the things that they do use as a metric, at least US News uses as a metric, is the quality of life. And it does rank on that list. So I don't really have to say too much more, because again, the individuals who did the research have already done it, and you guys don't have to hear it from me for once. You guys can hear from sources like US News state that this is one of the best places to live, and the quality of life is a big reason of it. All right, we've covered already 5 reasons why Raleigh may be considered an excellent place to call home for you. But that is just the beginning. I'm curious to hear though, out of those 5 reasons that I've already mentioned, which of those actually stand out to you that makes you want to relocate to Raleigh? Let's hear it in the comments below, because the next 5 are even more compelling, and actually is what a lot of individuals weigh their decisions on for, especially the everyday living. But you're also going to want to hear one of the reasons why I disagree with something that I added onto the list that many people may disagree with me on, but we'll get to there. So now it's the time to pay attention, because we're going to talk about the things that really play a factor in your day-to-day life. And the reason number 6 being job opportunities. So depending on what field you are in, because I've gotten a lot of back and forth about this one here. And I will say, I think it boils down to what industry or what field that you're in is going to determine your fate and whether Raleigh is a good place for you to move to or not. Some of those industries being that are good, right, is that, at least I should say, maybe not be good, but more or less that is bringing individuals and bringing jobs into the area. It's tech, it's the medical, it's state jobs as well. A lot of research institutions as well as startups. So if you're in any one of those industries, then you should have no problem, as long as everything else checks off, right? However, this is one of those, the job opportunity is one of the reasons why Raleigh has been growing, because a lot of companies have been relocating to this area to start their firm, to grow it, to expand, or to do whatever it is that they're trying to do. So I would definitely say that is a big reasons why I see a lot of individuals that I speak to on a regular basis that relocates them to Raleigh, North Carolina. It's primarily the job or an opportunity that popped up on the horizon that enabled them to go ahead and relocate. And something that I'll add, if you guys did not know, Apple is supposed to put their plant here. I guess it's their first northern plant that they're going to have. It's like a headquarters, whatever the case is. So you guys can read up on it. However, the bad part about this is they have yet to start on it. I don't even know if they broke ground. So this is a big question mark around that entire project on if it's actually going to come to life. But if it does, oh boy, it's going to be a lot of joy for those individuals who are either planning already now or have already relocated. So depending on where you're at, you may want to really think about, your future and your plans. And if you do have any questions or need any assistance or just want to discuss something in detail, you can either schedule a Zoom consultation or even see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market. But we must move on. And do you remember when I said there was something that I disagreed on? Well, here it is. A lot of individuals may say there is a thriving food and beer scene here. Honestly, I would say to a certain extent. I don't know if I agree with that entirely. Maybe that is a reason why you move, or maybe it's a reason why you do not move. But I would honestly say a thriving beer and food scene, to a certain extent. I personally think, this is just my personal opinion, I think Durham does it a little bit better. Which Durham is only 30 minutes or so. So if you are a big foodie or you want to try different foods, you definitely want to check out Durham as well, because I personally think it has a little bit more options, a little bit more going on now. In terms of festival wise, Raleigh knocks it out the park with there, but again, I don't know if I can agree to this entirely. Maybe it's like I said, maybe it is a reason why you do or you don't move. I do not know, but don't let that be the only reason, because Raleigh doesn't have that on the hook just quite yet. Now, moving on to reason number 7, which is the education. Now, if you look at the university level, you could see that Raleigh holds a lot of schools here. One of the big, of course, being North Carolina State. And then you have Shaw University. You actually even have Wake Tech, Community College. So maybe you don't want to go to the university level. You have that. I don't think I said Meredith College. So those are all university college level schools that does sit in that Raleigh area. Now, of course, if you go to Durham or even Chapel Hill, you get a little bit more exposure. You have North Carolina State, you have North Carolina Central University, and then you have Duke as well. And then if you go to Chapel Hill, you have UNC. So you have a lot of different schools that surround you, and which means you have a lot of options, and they're all great programs. So, can you really lose out on any of them? And on top of that, if your kiddos are at that point where they're ready, they don't have to travel far, which I was there and I traveled far. So chances are they're going to travel far. But at least you have these schools that are nearby, and you know that you have accessibility to them, whether it's even on the job level. All right, if you're coming to North Carolina to create a new business, you get at least top tier talent. And that's why a lot of the jobs and corporations have been relocating here, is because they're realizing a lot of the top tier talent is here as well. Reason number 8 on the list is talking about, I have here, community spirit. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of the type of individuals that you may be dealing with on a regular basis. And I know that I mentioned, this area does a phenomenal job with providing you a ton of things to do. So you're going to really experience it there. But also the type of individuals. I mean, if you are the type of individuals who does not like someone saying hi to you, whether you're on a walk, whether you're, riding your bike, or whatever the case is, you may, from time to time, depending on the person you come across, get the finger, who knows? But that's everywhere. However, you're going to experience more individuals be more friendly here. And that's one of the things I could definitely say about the community in itself. It does provide you. I can even give you guys a story. It was not too long ago where I was actually at a community and just trying to find, their amenities. And I was having trouble just driving around frequently trying to find it. And finally, someone was outside, and I just slowed down my car and asked a question. And thankfully, this individual just gave me the response. But in the midst of all of that, I tried to identify, is this individual going to give me a bad look, not going to help me? And that was not the case. Person actually said, "Yep, have a great day," kind of thing, and went about their business. So that's the type of feel, vibe, and the community that is here in that Raleigh area. So if you are one of those individuals that likes to help, likes to, just be an individual to give out positivity, then you're going to be just fine here. I enjoy it. I'm glad that this is what it is here, because shout outs to my northerners, but man, you guys can be tough sometimes. Moving on to reason number 9, which is the cost of living. And of course, as we've all been experiencing, there's been a lot of things that have been kind of increasing. The cost has been increasing as time goes on. But if you really look at Raleigh and compare it to a lot of the metro and the big city areas, it just really does not compare. your bang for your buck is really going to go a little bit further here than any city, any major city that you can even think of off the top of your head right now. So something to really think about if you're looking for longevity, if you really want to get a big bang for your buck. Looking south is generally what everyone typically does. North Carolina is one of those places that does provide that to you. And we finally got to the last reason number 10, which is the future growth of Raleigh. I mean, if you really travel to Raleigh, just take a weekend or a week, whatever, however long you desire, you will really see how much construction is going on here and what's really happening. It's quite honestly annoying being in the middle of it at the time being, but it's going to be a brighter future, I will say. I mean, I could speak on the future, the growth of what Raleigh looks like, but I don't even know myself. Just know they are planning for a lot of people and planning for a lot of things for people to do. So if you have an idea or you want to be a part of the growth, or even you just want to make some money, maybe this is the time where you bring yourself to Raleigh, North Carolina, because this is where growth is happening. And honestly, the future is extremely bright just based off of what I'm seeing here on the ground. So there you have it. There's 10 reasons why Raleigh could be one of the best decisions that you make, or even the best move that you make. I mean, we're talking from job opportunities to outdoor activities to quality of life. Raleigh has something for everyone. But I'm curious to know, at this point, you heard all 10 reasons. Which reason stood out to you most and makes you want to relocate to Raleigh? Pack those bags and relocate immediately. Let's hear it in the comments below. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina, and would love nothing more but the ability and the opportunity to assist you with your relocation needs. So you see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.